Do you want to know my secret ingredient for making the best spaghetti sauce? Keep watching. Today I am revisiting the very first YouTube video I ever filmed, which if you want a good laugh, I will link that for you in my description box below. But I'm going back to my mother-in-law's classic spaghetti sauce recipe. I've made a few tweaks to the recipe, making a great sauce even better. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. Let's cook! I'm starting by preparing the vegetables for my sauce. So this includes a few carrots that I peel and dice into large chunks, and then an onion that I also peel and quarter, and then several cloves of garlic. Now, I'm not going to tell you exactly how many cloves of garlic to use. That's one of those ingredients that you can just measure with your heart, as they say. Here I'm using the bottom of my tomato sauce can to crush each clove of garlic, and that helps the skin come off very easily. And then later on, I'll just use my garlic press to mince those up. I added a couple of tablespoons of olive oil to a large pot over about medium-low to medium heat and put the carrots and the onions inside and sauteed those for a few minutes until they started to get golden on the edges. While the veggies cooked, I opened up my tomato products. So I'm using 2 large cans, 29 ounce of tomato puree and 2 large cans of tomato sauce. Right before adding the tomatoes, I added the garlic into my pot, and this only needs to saute for about 30 seconds to a minute or until it's fragrant. After I add in the 2 cans of tomato sauce and the 2 cans of tomato puree, you can see there's still a little bit of tomatoes left in the can. So to rinse the cans out and also to thin out the sauce, I fill each can about halfway with water, swirl it around a little bit, and then add that to the pot. And then as the sauce continues to cook throughout the day and reduce, you can always add more water so that it's the consistency that you like. Next, I need to season the sauce. So I start with a generous sprinkling of salt and pepper. And again, this is something that you can adjust as the sauce cooks, taste it, add a little bit more salt or whatever seasonings you'd like as needed. I'm also adding in a tablespoon of dried Italian seasoning, a couple of dried bay leaves, and a couple of tablespoons of sugar. So the sugar, as well as those carrots that we sauteed earlier, are going to offset the acidity of all those tomatoes in there and just balance the sauce out a little bit. I stir everything together and then bring the sauce to a boil. Once it does, reduce the heat to low and let this simmer all day long. So while the sauce is simmering, I'm going to prepare some homemade meatballs. I lined my baking tray with foil and then just coated it with some nonstick spray. And then this is kind of a bit of a ratio recipe. So for every pound of ground beef, here I have 2 pounds, you're going to use an egg, a half a cup of Italian seasoned breadcrumbs, and a half a cup of Parmesan cheese. So 2 pounds of ground beef, 2 eggs, a cup of seasoned breadcrumbs, and a cup of Parmesan cheese. And then I season that with salt, pepper, and a large amount of garlic powder just for some good flavor, and mix that all together by hand. I roll my meatballs by hand into a shape a little bit larger than a golf ball, and then these bake at 350 degrees for about 20 to 25 minutes. You just want the edges to be a little bit golden. They will most likely be cooked through, but that's not 100% necessary because then they're going to simmer in the sauce for hours. Simmering your meat in the sauce is a critical step for developing really good flavor. And that leads me to my secret ingredient, which is pork. I usually add mild Italian sausage links, but you could pan sear a pork chop and throw that in. You want to add pork for the most incredible
rich depth of flavor. To me, that is the key ingredient, along with simmering the sauce for about 6 hours at minimum. This is one of those things that's even better the next day after it's been sitting and marrying all the flavors together for a while. But the pork sausage is going to take your sauce to the next level. I use my spider strainer, or you could just use a slotted spoon to remove all of those veggies, the carrots and onions and the bay leaves. And then I spoon a few ladlefuls of sauce into my cooked pasta of choice for that day. So instead of coating it in olive oil or butter or whatever you might do, you can coat it in sauce and that will help it from not sticking together. And then I kind of did the little nest method here with my tongs where I made a little mound or nest of pasta in my bowl and then added even more sauce because the more the better of this incredible savory delicious sauce. And I topped it with a meatball, but you can also use the sausage here. You can also get some hoagie buns and make your own meatball or sausage subs. And then of course sprinkle on as much Parmesan cheese as you would like and enjoy.
Thank you so much for joining me here today in my kitchen, and I'll see you again soon.